Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and I want to talk a little bit about 3D Touch. Now, we know that it sort of went away with the iPhone 11 Pro, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and the iPhone 11, where Apple actually physically removed the pressure-sensitive layer under the display so that 3D Touch is no longer pressure-sensitive. And they've replaced it with the word Haptic Touch, and what that means is you just long press on an icon and you get a little menu from that. And so it's sort of like a right-click on a computer. But with their previous phones, if you're not familiar with it, or maybe you haven't used one of the older phones, it actually has a pressure-sensitive layer under it. So you would just push down and push a little bit harder in order to get that menu to pop up. And it's a lot faster than the press and hold. So if I show you this side by side, you'll see I can do it at the exact same time. And it's just much faster on the iPhone 8 Plus, for example, that actually has the 3D Touch built in. But Apple actually changed the way it behaves with iOS 13 so that it was less noticeable on the newer devices. And what that means is when you used to press a little bit on an icon, it would sort of fan out, and then if you let go, it would come back. And you can see this a little bit if you go into the menus for 3D Touch on an iPhone 8 Plus or something else below that that has 3D Touch, or even a XS or a XS Max or an iPhone 10. So if we go into settings, and then we'll go to our touch settings. Now in the 3D Touch menu, you used to be able to see this if you pushed a little bit, and then it would pop out a little bit and then go back. But now you can't really do it. You can just do it ever so slightly, but they've basically removed 3D Touch altogether. Now, also 3D Touch is more convenient when you're typing. So if you're on a website, for example, and you want to type another web address, or you want to move the cursor, all you need to do is push a little pressure in the middle of the keyboard and you can move your cursor around. On a non-3D Touch device, it doesn't work like that. So if we go to Apple, the same thing here, and we want to move our cursor around, if I put my finger down in the middle of the keyboard, it doesn't do anything. But if I put my finger down on space and hold it, then I can move the cursor around. So it's not that difficult, but it's something that's changed, and it was a feature that a lot of people really liked that they removed. And so the reason I wanted to talk about this is because there has been a recent development in the world of Android where Google did the March Pixel update and brought a very similar 3D Touch-like feature to the phone using just software. So they used their AI or their learning algorithms to actually understand how your finger spreads out as it presses the display. So if you 3D press or just press quickly on say Twitter here, it just pops up very quickly. And to show you a comparison for speed, now they did have a long press before, but now it's about the same speed. So I think Apple could actually improve this over time with the same sort of learning, and it feels the exact same as 3D Touch. So if you're familiar with that, it would be great to have them do something like that if we could have the ability to have them use maybe their neural engine to understand how your finger fans out as it pushes on the display harder. So it would be great to have something like that back and then have that brought over to an iPad as well, where the glass is so big that you can't really press on it the same way and those pressure sensitive layers don't work well. So it would be great to see them bring it back based on something like we had with the Pixel software, but instead do it on the Apple side, where it's nice and safe and secure and works like 3D Touch. Now, I don't know if they could bring the keyboard feature back, but I would love to see them bring everything else back since it's so helpful. Now, some apps still allow you to do the pressure-sensitive 3D Touch moves, but for the most part, it's gone all throughout the OS. It's more of just a press and hold, and that's fairly unfortunate, but hopefully they can fix this and bring it back. But I would love to hear what you have to say about it. With iPhone 12, I don't know that they'll bring it back, but they could do it with an OLED display, or they could do it on an LCD display. They have the option to do that. And with the iPhone 9 or SE2, they most certainly could do it if it's like an iPhone 8, because it'll be an LCD. And so if we have that sort of setup that's the same, there's no reason they couldn't bring it back with iOS 14 or iPhone 12. And I think a lot of people would really appreciate that. And whether it's a supply issue, a manufacturing issue, or something they have planned in the future to get rid of it, I think it would be great to bring it back. And I think it's a great feature that I miss quite a lot. So I wanted to hear what you had to say about this. And if you're still watching at this point, I really appreciate it, but I wanted to get your feedback as far as follow-ups. Now, I talked about this on Monday where I do sort of news reviews over the past weekend and the week, but I thought maybe we could talk about issues like this on Friday. But let me know what you think about it in the comments below. It kind of breaks up talking about iOS updates and things like that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, of course, I'll link it in the description as I always do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.